Hello and welcome to Universe Mode. This is ECW. We are here for the show of the week, as we always are. And man alive, is it good to be here? Is it good to be in Buffalo, New York? Is it good to be on ECW with the rightful greatest wrestler alive? Seth Rollins still holds his ECW championship, and we will waste no time in hearing from the man himself about that title defense. Controversy, doubt, none of that exists. The fact of the matter is, Seth Rollins went on his way. Seth Rollins defended his ECW championship over Baron Corbin, and Rollins made sure to prove that he is the greatest wrestler alive. He played mind games with Baron Corbin and walked out as the champion as a result of it. And tonight, Rollins will have a few words to say heading into the next ECW pay-per-view. Guilty as charged in just over a week from now. But that is not all that Rollins has to do here tonight. In the main event, he will fight one of the members of the Four Horsemen, who of course picked up a win at Survivor Series, clean sweeping the Elite. Tonight in your main event, Roderick Strong and Seth Rollins will take each other on in a rematch from Anarchy Rules back in September. No title on the line, but still a huge chance for Roderick Strong to continue on his momentum as a result of Survivor Series and to continue the drive that the Horseman's been gaining since Survivor Series took place. Now, before we get to all of that though, as I said, we got Seth Rollins to start with, so let's hear from the champion. Here he is. Here's the champion. And Seth Rollins does not give a damn what you think about it either way. He went in to Survivor Series the champion, and he walked out the champion. He beat Baron Corbin, and that's really all that matters. It doesn't matter how he did it, it just matters that he did it. And Rollins knows that, and I know that. So if we know it, what does it matter that everyone else thinks? And Rollins, reiterating my point. He beat Baron Corbin plain and simple. He defeated the Lone Wolf on his own accord, but he realizes that the controversy surrounding him isn't really what Seth Rollins likes to be a part of. Oh, alright. I'm okay with this. Seth Rollins saying that to Baron Corbin, if he wants to prove his worth, and if he wants to, Seth Rollins in a given mood, given the fact that it's Black Friday and all that, and Thanksgiving just passed, well, how about Seth Rollins gives Baron Corbin another shot at the ECW Championship? Seth Rollins will see Baron Corbin guilty as charged for the title, and he knows it'll take place because I'll set the match. But it is not about just Baron Corbin. Here tonight, he will use his old Four Horsemen member, Roderick Strong, to send the message. Seth Rollins is high set on defending that championship. Think of it as a lucky chance for Corbin, but luck won't be on his side come guilty as charged. Because as per usual, Seth Rollins will walk out still ECW champion. Well, you know what? I mean, he's going to get that match. Rollins will defend his championship against Baron Corbin at guilty as charged. Don't you worry about it. That is without a doubt going to happen. But that doesn't mean we're done here tonight. ECW is the show that doesn't stop giving. Thanksgiving may have been yesterday, but that doesn't mean we are done at all. We've still got a lot to go through, and we've still got a lot of great matches to come your way, and some pretty big announcements as well. Coming up right now, Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe, is going to help us to welcome a new member to the ECW family and a new man as a part of the ECW roster. Dean Ambrose, though, a tough opponent for this man. Have you ever heard of the phrase, one man's trash is another man's treasure? Well, that's exactly what we've seized upon here. That's exactly what we've done with a member of the Monday Night Raw roster. Welcome to ECW. He's not coming out yet. Element of surprise. Come on. You know who it is already, but you're just waiting to see the face. The newest member of the ECW roster, Drew McIntyre. Oh yeah, we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing around here. After the Revolution was abruptly split apart, McIntyre was sent on his way by the Raw general manager Cristiano Ronaldo. I would love to know what was going through his stupid mind when he let someone go like Drew McIntyre. How do you let a talent go like that, but still keep the likes of Zack Ryder and Christian around on your roster? Something like that is beyond me, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. I'm going to capitalize on this right away, and I'm going to capitalize on it immediately. Let's snap up McIntyre as quickly as possible, and here he is tonight, ready to make his ECW debut against the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. And as I've said, and as you see sometimes with debuts, I haven't given him a slouch. I haven't given him a pushover. Dean Ambrose is a former world champion, a former ECW television champion, a former Intercontinental champion, a former Mr. Money in the Bank holder. There is a lot Dean Ambrose has done in this universe. And Drew McIntyre and Dean Ambrose have been engaged in some matches in the past, truth be told. A long time ago, when Ambrose used to be a part of the Shield and Drew McIntyre used to be under the tutelage of a Paul Heyman. But now here we are, sometime later, McIntyre on his own now, Ambrose as well, in a bit of struggling times really for the Lunatic Fringe. I'm not really too sure what is next for his career, I guess. Ambrose right now, side headlock takeover, nicely done there, and he's trying to make sure the McIntyre's welcoming here onto ECW is just as tough as every match will be for him. Like I said, with a gift that keeps on giving, we've got an awful lot for you here tonight. A lot of the Four Horsemen's in action here, which I know you're going to be excited to see, given how well they did at Survivor Series. We've got... what else have we got? We got the ECW Television Champion, Aleister Black. We also got big news we got in the ECW Tag Team Title Division. Seeing as Shawn Michaels will be in action later on tonight, I would like to announce right now that at Guilty as Charged, in just over a week from now, Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles will be defending those ECW Tag Team titles against the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor. After what happened with the Authors of Pain defeating Michaels and Styles, whatever it was, last week maybe, or the week before, one of the two, I have no choice but to give them the title match. They are the number one contenders, and with there being such little time between Survivor Series and the next pay-per-view, I gotta get right in the ball right away and focus on everything and focus on making these matches that you want to see. So don't worry, we've got that all settled. And maybe by the end of the night, if someone's able to have a stand-up performance, we could have a new number one contender crowned for the ECW Television Championship. Maybe it could be the winner of this one, as McIntyre and Ambrose engaging in a bit of brawling on the outside. The count up as far as 8 now. But there we go. There's a good bit of work by McIntyre to bring them back in the ring here. Ambrose, though, look at this, unloading away now. Chops and strikes in the corner. And big clothesline by the Lunatic Fringe. Ambrose not making life easy for McIntyre on his debut. And the man who was always destined for more success, I think, than he was gifted in Drew McIntyre, has a lot to prove in this one. All that McIntyre has going for him in this universe is a former WWE Tag Team Championship reign with James Storm, and I wish there was more to say about for McIntyre in that regard, but there just quite simply isn't. Wrenching on the neck now is Dean Ambrose here. Ambrose, though, counted quickly. Ambrose counters quickly out of that one. And look at that big forearm strike here to Drew McIntyre, and this is exactly what he brings to the table. These hard strikes from Dean Ambrose, something that a lot, of course, of the ECW roster presents, like the likes of Samoa Joe, Aleister Black as well, the television champion. Drew McIntyre is going to have to adjust to all of this quickly if he wants to be a stand-up performer in it. Ambrose now using his strength here. You know, McIntyre's got to be easily around the 250 range. And Ambrose just slammed him down with ease there. Look at these now, shots into the corner. Caught the boot there, did McIntyre. His reversals, simple but effective. And that's what you expect from a strong technical wrestler like Drew McIntyre is. Great bit of work there, though, by Ambrose to get himself out of that one. What can the Lunatic Fringe do from here? He's made this debut a difficult one for Drew McIntyre, that's for sure. And it might be a little bit more difficult for him to get used to. Lunatic lariat there. Ambrose given the opportunity to strike, and he would do just that. Covered out by Ambrose for victory over McIntyre. It didn't happen. Drew's at it 2. Ambrose still got a bit more work to do here if he wants to win this one. Because Ambrose, he needs this win badly as well. Like I was saying, he's kind of stuck right now. Hasn't got that much going for him on ECW, which is a shame. Because a name like Dean Ambrose, I want to succeed as well. I don't want it to just be, pushed away by just left by the wayside, really. McIntyre now brings down Ambrose here in a snap mare. Look at how quickly Ambrose tried to get up to his feet there, only for McIntyre to stop him. I imagine there was a lot of pent-up aggression inside Drew McIntyre after what happened over on Raw. When James Storm did what he did to Drew McIntyre. Uh-oh. McIntyre in position now. Is he going to look for it? Claymore kick to Dean Ambrose. Yes, he will. Into the cover now goes McIntyre for victory. Ambrose defeated. That one came out of the blue. The Claymore kick, strikes on the money, and Drew McIntyre all of a sudden is giving himself a successful debut on ECW. Now that is what I wanted to see. That was a strong debut there. Ambrose gave him his all, but Drew McIntyre proved that he deserves to be here on ECW, and he was worth the money we forked out for him. Great win there for McIntyre upon his debut, but it doesn't seem to be all she wrote for McIntyre. He's not ready to go back to the back yet. Drew McIntyre's got a few things that he wants to say. And McIntyre, quick to thank him for the debut, quick to thank Dean Ambrose for what happened there, quick to, just to say that he is glad that he is able to put behind what happened on Raw. It's a new time for McIntyre, and whatever Storm did, McIntyre has got to put it behind him and focus on his career. But Drew isn't here to mope. He's not here to talk about the past. He's here to focus on the future, and he's here to focus on guilty as charged. McIntyre wants to make a name for himself on this brand as soon as possible, so he's holding the challenge. The first man to come up from behind the curtain and stand face to face in the ring with him will face Drew McIntyre at guilty as charged. Oh, look at that! He didn't even need a moment to think about it. Sami Callihan, quick to come down to the ring to welcome Drew McIntyre to ECW. And think about this, at the last ECW exclusive pay-per-view, it was Callihan who made his debut. And now, at the next one, it's going to be McIntyre making his pay-per-view debut. Two young bloods, I guess, two new bloods, I suppose you could say, in regard to that, on ECW, and looks like they are getting ready to go face to face. Callihan taking some time to get to the ring, but you know for certain what this means. And there's Sami Callihan welcoming Drew McIntyre to the A show, welcoming him into ECW. And if he wanted to fight the guilty as charged, if he wanted to fight the man who can drag the very best out of him, well, you're looking at him. At guilty as charged, Sami Callihan wants Drew McIntyre. And in Drew McIntyre's mind, it is exactly what he wanted. He couldn't ask for a better opponent than Sami Callihan. Two young athletes, two men hungry for success, two new acquisitions to the ECW roster. In McIntyre's mind, this is a match made for perfection. But Callihan quick to remind him there that this isn't about just guys trying to get themselves out there. This is about win or loss. Just because he respects Drew McIntyre does not mean when the bell rings at guilty as charged, he'll go easy on him. He'll give him his all. He'll go as tough as he wants, because Callihan is just as hungry as McIntyre is. And there we have it. McIntyre saying he'd have it no other way. That's exactly what he wants from Sami Callihan. Both men bring their A game, and maybe there's a reward for the winner. Respect will be earned, but a victory will only go to one. And in Drew McIntyre's mind, Sami Callihan is staring directly at him. And there we have it. What a debut on ECW for Drew McIntyre. A war of words with Sami Callihan and a victory over Dean Ambrose, and a match set for guilty as charged as well. And I will announce that right now. McIntyre and Callihan will fight at the next ECW pay-per-view. They will meet each other at Guilty as Charged. And you know what? I'm going to go a little bit big with it. You might think I'm thinking maybe the winner gets a television championship shot. No. I'll go all out. The winner of this match between Drew McIntyre and Sami Callihan is the new #1 contender for Seth Rollins' ECW Championship. That's right, we're putting the big money on the line. Whoever wins this match and whoever wins the match between Rollins and Corbin, Rollins at Guilty as Charged, will meet each other at the Royal Rumble for the ECW Championship. How about that? The gift that keeps on giving. ECW, courtesy of the best general manager there is going today. You are all so very welcome. Well, how about that? We're only one match down with ECW here tonight. We've already got 2 matches announced. 3 matches announced even for Guilty as Charged. We're just a machine around here. We just keep going. There's no stopping on our horizon. We see something interesting, we do something interesting. That's ECW. We take big risks. And we've taken a risk. And we put a reward on the shoulders of Sami Callihan and Drew McIntyre at Guilty as Charged. You want to look at the future? You want to look at new names making come out here and just trying to become a star? Well, you're witnessing it right there with those 2 men. Callihan and McIntyre, now with so much more on the line than just simple respect. I think that'll force the very best out of each other, and I think that'll make Guilty as Charged an even better pay-per-view. But now we move on a little bit. Now Hideo Itami is going to be in one-on-one action here against a man who had a standout performance of his own at Survivor Series. On SmackDown Live, we were talking about Roman Reigns and his greater action and how well he did. Now we focus on one of the newest members of the 4 Horsemen, and the man who had a Survivor Series of his own to celebrate. A man who showed that he certainly has a future within this business. That's right, I'm talking about Apollo Crews. And Crews, for certain, had a real good... he just did a really good job at Survivor Series. He picked up an elimination, eliminated one of the Young Bucks, fought... he took a hell of a beating at the hands of the Elite as well. Moved on, progressed through it, got the win at the end of it all. Jericho was the one who got the tapper, but he was there because of the clean sweep victory. And Apollo Crews can take a lot away from Survivor Series and celebrate a lot. That does not mean that, I'm just going to push rewards his way. Crews has still got to fight for them. He's young, he's hungry, and I know he wants to, he wants to fight for these chances. Maybe, with me making McIntyre and Sami Callihan for the ECW Championship, maybe Crews could become the next #1 contender for Aleister Black's ECW Television Championship. We got a fellow 4 Horsemen member taking him on later on tonight, so maybe Apollo Crews could be next in line. I'm telling you, I'm thinking about this all. I take my time. I don't want to just make a decision that I'm gonna regret. That McIntyre Callihan, yeah, that was impulse, that was spur of the moment, but I don't regret it. But when it comes to other young talents like we're seeing here with Crews, do I want to feed him to the wolves or feed him to the lion or whatever whatever Aleister Black sees himself as being? I don't want to do that. That's a huge mistake. Would I rather let Apollo Crews develop himself and then become a future star? Yes, I don't want to throw him in the deep end right away. He's in the 4 Horsemen for a reason. And I'm not here to just destroy him. I mean, I could just feed him to Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins could walk all over him for breakfast because that's what Seth Rollins does. But so you look at some things and you got to think, even that's not fair. Even that's not fair for someone like Seth Rollins. Well, there we go. Well, Seth Rollins is busy anyway. He's already occupied at Guilty as Charged, and I'm sure a big win for Crews tonight over Itami would give him that as well. Of course, this is a great chance for Itami to cause an upset maybe in the Cruiserweight division and have some eyes turning towards him. If Itami was to beat Apollo Crews here tonight after, the eyes that were turned towards him at Survivor Series, it could well be said that we could be looking at the next #1 contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. Of course, there's some unfinished business between Neville and Rich Swann after what happened in the last ECW. But, oh my god, but Itami could well add himself into that mix with a big win here tonight, sending Crews back in the ring now. Of course, the weight advantage much on the side of Apollo Crews. We got about a maybe 180 pounder in Hideo Itami and 245 or thereabouts from Apollo Crews. Look at this now, Olympic slam there by Crews as he continues to use all the moves that brought him and the Four Horsemen victory at Survivor Series. Lovely splash there into the cover now on Itami. Will he put him away with it? No, but he gets a good 2 count there. And now what can we see from Apollo Crews? But we see more of his strength. Oh, we're going to see something that Cody Rhodes, the United States champion, brought down on Raw. That scoop slam into a crossroads as Apollo Crews now demonstrating his strength. Look at how great that one was. Had him in a fall-away slam position and is able to bring him up and into a Samoan drop. This has been all about Apollo Crews thus far. Hideo Itami not getting much luck here as Crews jumps into another cover. And Itami's out at 2. But he needs more than just to get out of 2. He needs to get out of dodge, really. He needs to turn this match around big time if he wants to stand a chance of being a name within the Cruiserweight division at all. Nice counter there by Itami. It sends him over with a snapmare of his own, and he's going to look to go after the arm now of Apollo Crews, trying to take away some of that, some of the strength that he represents. Really, the Crews has going for him. Crews, though, trying to find his way out of it, and he does just that. Big punch in the gut there gives him the opening that he was looking for. Another counter by Itami, and he sends him down. What will we see now from Itami? He's got an opening here to work with on the second rope. Itami goes and elbow there. Caught him square in the jaw. And it certainly seems as if Crews is reeling from that one. But he's able to fight his way out of it. Good counter there by Apollo Crews. And here we go now. That standing shooting star press. That is almost the perfect all-around athlete. That is all the nature the Crews represents. And he's still going here. Big splash. And now I think I know what's next in mind for him. Itami tried, but from the moment this match started, he was outclassed. Crews is on the momentum of his lifetime. He's on a runaway train, and there's nothing stopping him. The cover by Crews with 2 and 3. Apollo Crews is your winner in this one. Survivor Series was just the start, as Crews is now steamrolling his way to a successful future here on ECW. And with a win like that, there's no way I can doubt that phrase. What does this mean, though? Oh my God! Well, that's answered my question. I was about to say, what's it gonna mean for Crews and the Four Horsemen going forward? Well, there's the answer. And it's over 400 pounds, and its name is Braun Strowman. Oh my God, where did Strowman come from? I don't know, but Crews is in big trouble here. Crews, I don't think any of the Four Horsemen will be on their way down to save him. I don't think an attack like this was expected. Strowman now, with ease, running power slam to Apollo Crews. The Wyatt family have set their next sight, have set their next target in mind. Well, after what happened there, I guess I've got to think about something fast for the Four Horsemen. But something else to focus on right now is, of course, as I announced earlier in the night, that a guilty is charged. The Authors of Pain will challenge for the ECW Tag Team titles and look to take them away from AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels. The Heartbreak Kid is meant to be in action, due up next, but oh no. Oh, we're going backstage. Apparently something's kicked off between Authors of Pain and AJ Styles. Oh, we're backstage, and indeed it is the Authors of Pain, well, more specifically Akam, pounding into AJ Styles right now with a steel chair. He must have got the jump on him here in the locker room. Styles has been taken completely off guard by this one, and Akam's pummeling into him. I have no idea where Michaels is. My guess is he got laid out at some point by Razor, maybe, just so it could be an easier job done. But I think that match that we were expecting with Shawn Michaels may be firmly out of its way. I don't think we're going to be seeing that one, but what we could see is AJ Styles in big trouble. Akam looks prepped for something. A spear into the TV! A huge spear into the monitor, and AJ Styles goes down from it. Akam just flattened a phenomenal one. And the grand scheme of things for guilty as charged has just been changed up. Is AJ Styles even going to make it at 100%? Or is this been a huge turning point that could gift the titles to the authors of pain? God, so much has gone on so fast. I haven't had any time to keep track of it. Just been everything just from zero. Well, it was starting off at 100, but now it's gone almost into light speed at this point. AJ Styles laid out backstage. Apollo Crews laid out earlier. And now we have Rich Swann with a big match here against Aleister Black. Swann, of course, who just last week defeated Neville. Oh, for God's sake, I don't get to finish any point, because look who's here now. It's Neville, the Cruiserweight Champion, bombing his way to the ring to try and catch Swann off guard here before his matchup against Aleister Black. And Swann knows he's here, and he's decked with the title. Neville wanted to use him to send a point there. Neville beating into Swann now, as if beating into him with a steel chair last week wasn't enough. Neville is making sure to do even more here before this matchup with Black even begins. Neville just pounding into him here, and Swann's almost dazed and confused. Out of it, basically. DDT there onto the thin padding. And Swann trying to stand here, trying to fight for himself as he gets back in the ring. But Neville is weakening him ahead of Aleister Black here. Neville trying to prove that the beatdown last week was just a start. Rich Swann is not on the Neville level. He is not in the mindset of the King of the Cruiserweights. He is not going to threaten him and his title. But Neville is not done with Swann, not so long as I have something to say about it. Oh, the night ain't over for Swann, though. Don't think that... And I don't want to do this. I really don't, but I have no choice. We just had one match called off. I can't have another one happen. Swann can still fight. Swann may be down right now, but he's trying to get back up to his feet. He still wants to fight Aleister Black here. And honestly, Swann, as much as I don't want this to happen, I'm not going to stop the Wyatt family. There's only so much I can do, and stopping the Wyatt family is not on my list of plans. Here he is. Well, he's got a long time to recover, because here comes ECW Television Champion now. Aleister Black is here, and he's heading towards the ring. Black, of course, just defended his championship at Survivor Series against Bobby Roode. Doubts over whether or not it was a legitimate victory, given the state of what Roode was in. I guess you could say the fact that Roode was not at 100% by any means whatsoever. But regardless of that, Aleister Black here has still got to, focus maybe on what's next. Bobby Roode gonna have to focus on what's next for him. But Aleister Black here tonight may well have just been gifted an easy victory, courtesy of the Cruiserweight Champion. I said that Neville and Swann weren't done, and I guess that's been confirmed now. And I guess I've got to do something quick to decide about that before it gets too bad too fast for Rich Swann to have to deal with. Aleister Black looks ready as ever. He is focused and in the zone. And Rich Swann is just about getting up to his feet on the outside right now. He still wants to fight. And Aleister Black, well, he always wants to fight. And Swann, as we can see, he's still trying to recover on the outside. The bell rung. We are underway in this one, and Swann has still got some fight left in him. He's fighting here for the Four Horsemen. He's fighting for himself, but here we go. This is Aleister Black that he's sharing the ring with. Don't think he's in for an easy night here. I doubt as to whether or not Swann can see what's going on. He was caught hard with that title, and he was laid out on the outside as well. He was DDT'd a couple times. I imagine his vision could be blurry. He could well have, at worst, he has a concussion. And if you think that's going to stop Aleister Black here tonight, no, it's just made his job even easier for him. The ECW Television Champion will gladly welcome this in. Swann You could see there he ducked that kick. He's still got some fight left in him. But it has been, you know, most of it's been taken out of him. And this is a real shame to see. Because I put Swann in this match, not because I wanted to see him get beat down, because I thought Swann could give Aleister Black a run for his money. But Neville sees otherwise, I see. And I guess Neville sees his own selfishness. Neville wants himself to be focused on over Aleister Black. Double knees in the gut there. Or, well, not Aleister Black, but Rich Swann. I imagine you don't want to pick on Aleister Black. You will pay for that one. Black just pounding into Rich Swann here, and there's nothing I can do to stop this. I'm really sorry for Rich Swann. I'm sorry for the Four Horsemen, but if you think I'm going to stop the Wyatt family, you must be mental. Look at this now, just going to work on the head. Big running knee there, caught him in the side of the head. And Swann is almost grasping at straws right now as he tries to just kind of stay conscious, I imagine, more so than anything. Big moonsault there by Aleister Black, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is all she wrote. Oh, it isn't, because there's Swann kicking at it too. And Black looking very, very surprised by that one. And Swann's got some fight left in him here. Swann able to bring a counter into the mix. Tiger bomb now by Swann. Oh my god. You gotta give credit to this guy. The heart that he possesses. He just took a pounding from Neville, and he's been taking a pounding from Aleister Black as well. And he's trying to fight back here. He's trying his very best. He doesn't want to let anyone down. But Aleister Black is the television champion. Aleister Black, oh god, is going to make sure that you pay for trying to fight back. Black now kicking the gut. Oh god. A cutter into the Dragon Sleeper. And look at that. The arm locked around his back here on Rich Swann. This one could end it. Can Swann fight on any longer? Will he be able to fight on? Oh my god, he will. Swann's out of it. How, I have no idea. But look at this by Swann. Jumping DDT there. And he's feeling it. Swann's feeling something about to come his way, maybe. Oh no, clothesline, countered, German suplex. But Swann is still up on his feet. He's finding a way to claw himself back in this one. But I think that just came to an abrupt end. Clothesline to the outside, more work done on the head there. And Aleister Black may well have just knocked what little fight that Rich Swann had within him. Look at this now, trying to force up the limp. Rich Swann to deliver it. Black Mass! Look at this. That big spinning kick. Swann was lifeless when that one came in. And this is all over. Cover by Black. 1, 2, 3. Aleister Black was handed that victory on a plate, courtesy of Neville, and he did what he always does. He beat into someone until they couldn't stand any longer. And you know Aleister Black deeply enjoyed that. The television champion focused as ever. And here's Rude! Bobby Roode! The man who he defeated at Survivor Series. Rude is here. And Aleister Black now is going to fight him as well. 2 for 1, I guess, on the night. But Rude certainly showing that he's not done after Survivor Series. He wasn't letting Aleister Black just finish his job here and move on. Aleister Black now and Rude engaging in a bit of a brawl here. A continuation of what went on at Survivor Series. As I said, you know, there were doubts cast over whether his victory was legitimate. And Rude is coming out here to iterate that it wasn't. He got lucky on the night because Rude is still standing and he's not giving in. Double A spine buster there by Rude. And Aleister Black could be in huge trouble here. The Glorious One is going to look to firmly plant him down now. Kick in the gut. He's got him right where he wants him. Incoming. Glorious DDT. Everything's going by so fast right now. I don't have a moment to collect myself. He was saved there. Aleister Black saved by the ways in which the Wyatt family worked. But, oh, he is... they're not done. Great, we've got 2 feuds not done. We've got, oh, it's all over the place. Right, I guess I gotta act quickly. Again, I guess I gotta make an impulse decision. I said I don't like to make impulse decisions, but I guess I got it with what we just saw. At Guilty as Charged, much the same as with Corbin and Rollins, we'll have a rematch. Yes! I guess I gotta make both the matches. So Rich Swann will challenge Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship, and Aleister Black will defend his championship against Bobby Roode. There we go. That's 5 matches decided in one night. Are you happy? With a week to go, in one show, we've decided we've got 5 matches done for you. And what we've certainly got done as well is the main event of Guilty as Charged, because here comes the ECW champion, poised to defend his championship again against none other than the man he faced and the man he defeated, albeit by countout, at Guilty as Charged. It's Seth freaking Rollins, and he's even got the shirt to go with it. This is our illustrious champion, and this is the man who has held the ECW banner high since the moment he arrived here, and the very moment that he claimed it back as his own. Rollins, still your 3-time ECW champion, and it doesn't seem as if he has any plans, and doesn't seem poised to want to kiss that title goodbye at any time soon. Seth Rollins is focused on his own game, and Seth Rollins at Guilty as Charged needs to be focused on Baron Corbin, because if one thing I think happened with Rollins, I'm going to guess that, I'll be talking about impulse decisions this entire night. I think Rollins was forced to make an impulse decision at Survivor Series. I think Corbin, and you know, if you've been around this universe, you know how much I respect Seth Rollins. You know that ECW would be nothing without Seth Rollins. You all know that Seth Rollins is the greatest wrestler alive today. Whether the fans think, whether these people in the crowd seem to disagree with me or not, I really don't give a damn. The fact is, he is the greatest wrestler. He saved us from the cancer that was Diamond Dallas Page, and made ECW into his own envisionment. But he acted on impulse at Survivor Series. I think Baron Corbin, and I don't want to say this at all, I think he has his number. I think Corbin has Rollins not backed up against the wall, but he's getting there. He is making Rollins nervous. He is making Rollins starting to question himself, really, make some mistakes. And that is why the countdown win, I think, was a mistake from Rollins. He decided he needed to almost get out of there as quickly as possible because Corbin was putting a beat down on him. Rollins may well have won from countdown, but as we saw, it also just goes to show how incredible Seth Rollins is. He knew he acted on impulse. He knew maybe he made a mistake and he did the fans wrong. And look at what the incredible ECW champion that he is. Look at what he did. He righted his wrong, and he made sure to announce that was the main event. How can you boo someone like this? How is it that each and every week I'm out here, I hear these people booing Seth Rollins, chanting Rollins sucks, and you sold out to him? Seth Rollins by no means sold out to anyone. He can't sell out to something he created. You all boo Seth Rollins and say that he did ECW wrong. He screwed ECW by taking Diamond Dallas Page away. He's corrupt. We are tyrants in our own right, ruling over this brand. Are you blind? Are you stupid? If not for Seth Rollins, there wouldn't be an ECW. Rollins didn't orchestrate an ECW into his own creation. He didn't put it in his own mindset. He didn't see ECW and then decide this is what I want to do with it. Rollins made ECW. It was just a fledgling company, basically. It was a name and nothing more until Seth Rollins came along. Now it stands for pride, honor, integrity, and everything else. This is a brand where the best of the best go, and it's thanks to Seth Rollins that is the case. Let no one tell you otherwise, because they are wrong. They are lying to you. There is only one man to thank for why ECW is in the shape that it is, why ECW is as great as it is, and it's not me. It's Seth Rollins. But now here tonight, Rollins has to focus on Roderick Strong. A tough fight for him, for sure. This is, of course, like I said, a rematch from Anarchy Rules a few months ago, back in September. These two men met for the ECW Championship then, and Roddy gave it his all, but didn't have enough to win the title. It has been a questionable night for the Four Horsemen. Crews laid out early, as we saw, by Braun Strowman. And I imagine Roddy Strong and Chris Jericho have got something to think about in regards to Architect's Annihilation. Oh my god, came out of nowhere, covered by Rollins, looking to put away Roddy Strong here, and all Strong kicked out. I was very much taken back by that. I didn't expect to see that one being struck out of nowhere. And Rollins going to hit it again here. Another one. The cover on Strong for victory, and Strong is still kicking out of it. Seth Rollins, he wanted to, I imagine he didn't want to doubt himself. He wants to think that he's got this all, in mind. He knows what he's doing, really. He knows he's the champion for a reason, but Roddy Strong, kicking out of 2 of his finishing maneuvers, really has to cast some doubt in the mind of Seth Rollins. Chinlock now. And Roddy Strong perhaps geared up. Perhaps this is why Strong is putting on more of a fight. The beatdown earlier in the night. Seeing 2 of his Four Horsemen members being laid out just as quickly as one another, really. Crews by Strowman and Swann by Neville. Perhaps frustration is on the side of Roddy Strong right now. And that is why he's acting in the way that he is. Got Rollins up on his shoulders here. Uh-oh. Snake Eyes on the turnbuckle. Rollins trying to get a moment to rest, and Roddy giving him none of that. A fast-paced main event thus far, as Strong continues his work here on Seth Rollins. Camel clutch now, maybe. Yes, it will be. Rollins just need to reach your arm out a few inches and get to the ropes, and you'll be fine. And he does indeed do that. Roddy Strong, of course, had a great Survivor Series for himself as well. Picked up a big-time elimination, and had a part to play in making sure that the clean sweep happened. He had to kick out of a one-winged angel as well from Kenny Omega. But Roddy Strong was just as detrimental to that clean sweep as the rest of the Horsemen. And now imagine what a big-time win for Strong could do here tonight. We could be looking at a triple threat that Guilty is charged, and it may be on its way, because Strong could be on his way for victory here. Rollins with the counter. Looked like he had the end of Heartache in mind. Rollins brought an end to it, but there's a Falcon Arrow. Seth Rollins-esque as well. That's exactly how the Architect would hit it. It just goes to show you that, if you're going to mock anyone, might as well mock greatness. Rollins there with a great reversal. Big forearm shot now, trying to send Strong back a little bit here. Sends him back as far as the turnbuckle. Uh-oh. Oh, face first into it. That's not going to do you any favors, Roddy Strong. It's a good thing you got a wife and kids already. So I don't think you'd be getting anyone after the way your face just got re-emerged by Rollins, and the way it's going to be resurfaced after everything that happens here, because Rollins still isn't done yet. Throwing Strong to the outside. Rollins has a point to prove, and he looks desperate to make sure that he gets it across. Rollins looking at the ropes, looking back at Strong. Suicide dive to the outside. Look at that, but that is a pitch perfect suicide dive. Got him perfectly. Swann, I keep on getting their names wrong. Strong sent reeling back into the barricade. Rollins knew exactly what he was looking for there, and now he has Strong right where he wants him. Anarchy rules. Flashbacks perhaps coming the way of Roddy Strong right now, as he refuses to give in and continues to try and fight. Up on his shoulders here. Strong is actually still showing a lot of fight right now. Hangs him out to dry on the ropes. Jumping into almost a desperation cover here on Rollins, who's out at 1. Big kick in the back right now, and Rollins is going to have to do something fast here before Roddy gets a sudden burst of life back in this one. And he looked for the curb stomp, and Roddy brought out the counter to it. I don't think Rollins was expecting that, but he's staying calm, cool and collected, as the champ always tries to make sure that he does. Spinning heel kick counter by Strong. Big forearm shot there as these two men now trading blows back and forth with one another. I honestly thought that suicide dive would have helped put Strong out of commission, but it's anything but. Rollins needs to fight back here. What's Strong looking for? He's some ways away from Seth Rollins right now. Strong, oh, with a running drop kick. I think he caught him right in the face with that one. That one from out of nowhere, an exploded drop kick, but he isn't done here. The Messiah of the backbreaker now continuing on his legacy with that one. Pushes him away though, does Rollins. He's still fighting on here. Either way this could go right now. Both men desperate to win it here. Both men forcing counters out of the other that they haven't seen before, I guess you could say. Roddy in position. Roddy! Curb stomp! No! Roddy Strong with a curb stomp, but Rollins counters it, and now Rollins finds his opening. Avara Kedavra. Oh, you're gonna pay for it now. You're gonna pay for trying to mock Seth Rollins. You've fallen to him once, Roddy Strong. Prepare to do it again. Here we go. The kick in the gut. This one's over. Curb stomp by Rollins. Into the cover. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. It was a gorgeous attempt at flattery, but you pay for it. The curb stomp and victory for the Architect. Rollins your winner here. Strong defeated in the main event, and Rollins isn't done. Rollins is not done with Strong here. There is still, I guess, some animosity in the mind of Rollins. Survivor Series maybe getting to the mind of Rollins. Maybe that curb stomp almost frustrated Seth Rollins in some regard. But here he goes. Rollins by no means is done right now with Strong. And as busted open as he may be, Rollins is having his way with him. Avara Kedavra once more. And Seth Rollins in the middle of the ring, making sure that everyone, including Baron Corbin, pays close attention to this. Rollins, curb stomp to Strong. Pay attention when greatness and the greatest wrestler of all time is in the ring. Oh, but Rollins really isn't done here. The man has snapped here. The man has snapped on Strong. The champion is having his way, and now a cheer being lampooned into Roderick Strong. Seth Rollins looking, no, from the ramp comes Corbin. Corbin's here to defend his own friend, to defend a former member of his family. Corbin going after Rollins and sending him reeling here. There is bad blood between these two. It is still boiling, and it'll be settled, and guilty as charged.